on as the Principal Secretary Agriculture. So this is the one of the appreciation letter given by them to the team. So thank you so much, and I once again thank uh, Dr. Annapurna for helping us out, and she has been really, really very kind and motivating factor behind the team and behind me. She keeps pushing us all the time. So, ma'am, thank you so much, and I'm sure under your able guidance and with Ms. Usha Sudhir's hard work, I think these young eaglets will take it to the next levels. Thank you so much once again. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bali. That was a wonderful presentation. You covering the entire gamut of what exactly we did during all these 3 years and the impact it has had on the children, which resulted in all the various activities that the children have taken up, whether it is in the school or anywhere. Really, thank you for the wonderful presentation. Now, I would now like to invite Ms. Usha Sudhir, the teacher who relentlessly led these students over the last 3 years through various nuances of the project, guiding them, managing the project, supervising them, directing them, steering them, channelizing their energy and their thought process in their endeavor to make a difference to the society. So over to you, Ms. Usha Sudhir. I think you need to unmute yourself first.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Thank you, ma'am, for your kind words. Very good evening to all of you. When I first met Mrs. Annapurna, ma'am, I was really impressed by the kind of knowledge and she's a globetrotter, you know, she goes about different nations and she has so much information. And when she told me about this project, I was very happy to know that it is something concerning the globe, the changes what are happening and how it is going to affect us. So as soon as this project was just shown to us, then I thought, okay, I think we should go for it. And then principal then decided that yes, we should go for it. And then I looked out for the students announced in the classes and all. And then later only, see, this is a project like you have to come on your own, like we cannot force anyone. So it was what is the importance of it, all that was explained to them. And then I found that there were many of them who got interested into the project, and rather I had enough students that I could make choice now, so I had to choose them. So that is how the initiation started. And but then things went on easily for us. And of course most of the conferences were all we had only the Zoom conferences. So basically they were a little late in the night, but even then we had permission from our principal. So it was and also all even arrangements were made in the computer lab so that we could go on with it. And then of course to bring the students to school at that time, that was also a challenge for me. Then I would talk to the parents, convince them, yes, we are all safe in school, even though we are meeting at 8 o'clock or 8:30, and it may go on till 10:30. But even the parents were really that way, they had cooperated with me. And they were happy that the kind of security provided to us in the school even at that time was all amazing for them. Like they said, yes, we don't fear anything. So even they would wait to pick the child, and until everybody's gone, I wouldn't leave them. And yes, every time I would whenever we would do the work, particularly project assignments and all, there are many assignments and projects here, and also a lot of research has to be done. So I would always guide them, and also I would give them the links whenever possible. And mostly I've seen that my students they're more enthusiastic, so they're go-getters. Like they just go and find out the information as soon as something is told to them. They look out the research for it and then come back to me, ma'am, can I do this, can I do that, is it the right way, can I go ahead? That is how the things moved on. Like, and of course with this kind of cooperation, we could go ahead. And yes, it's not that every time everything is smooth, but we do have some technical issues, and sometimes some parent may not come, so we wait. And there were times when even the students would wait for me until someone had come and picked me up. Like, so we were waiting for each other. So this kind of like the bond which we developed during this process is something great. Like, and of course, more than anything, like if we were, they were asked to, whatever job was given to them, they did it on their own. Mostly they did it on, very less help from me. Only that I was just guiding them. All the written work, blog writing, even when we asked them to do the survey and all, they went to the classes. They went and announced for the painting competitions, everything. They would go to classes and do it. So that is how I was just behind them. Just I would just tell them, just go and do this. Yeah. So sometimes we would not get a free period, but then we would wait after the 4 o'clock. Of course, we won't meet the others, but all other work we would do after 4 o'clock, or go back home. And then next day we would gather somewhere, some their games period is very important period. They won't like to lose the games period, but then they would be ready, particularly for taking photographs of the campus and all. No? When we had the waste management thing, there is a pit, all that for that photographs and all. It is just all those pictures taken out by the students only. It is not by the teacher. All the pictures, whatever I posted there, most of them are, particularly the activity pictures, are from by the students, So that is how we work together. It's not just I just guided them. They also happened to, we work together, and that is how I think we are just carrying it on from one meet of the COP to another meet, and this is the fourth meet which we're going to have, I'm sure. And it is not all the time like it's all work. We do have fun. We get together and have some snacks, something like that. So to make things easier, because most of the time it is late night meetings we have. So that's where Annapurna ma'am also would join us, and it was all a great what do you call, gathering, and an effort towards keeping the earth sustainable. So that's what we have been trying to basically focus on, that sustainability retain on the earth. That's all. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Usha ma'am. And she's very right. We were there during Dasara vacation. We were there during Diwali vacation. In spite of the vacations, Dr. Bali would ensure that his staff who would have gone on vacation would come back to assist us. And what was the motivating factor in spite of our having the Zoom conversations during late at night was, in Australia and New Zealand, it was 2 a.m. and 3 a.m. for them, because the Zoom conversations used to be with all the countries at the same time. So it would cut across all the continents, and all of us would meet at the same time. And in Australia and New Zealand, we would find 25 students sitting in their computer lab with their teachers talking about the project. All of these were motivating factors for our children to participate at whatever time the conversations, these Zoom meetings would take place. We used to have bilaterals, then trilaterals, then continentals, and then all of them together. Now, I would request a few students to share their experiences, their interactions with students across the world, and the impact the project has had on their will to take up initiatives. Because we've seen that they've taken up a lot of initiatives after coming back from and after participating in this project. So first, I would like to invite Tarunim Jamal, who participated in the COP 23 and 24 at Bonn. He at Bonn, Germany in 2017, and Katowice, Poland in 2018. He accompanied me, and both of us were representing India in that forum. So I would now like to invite Tarunim to speak a few words.
Good evening, everyone. I am Tarunim Jamal, and I was the team leader for the COP student delegation from Hyderabad Public School. Since we were the first team to actually start this in our school, this was a bit challenging for us, but then things got together, and we used to get to the computer lab and start our meetings. And then the principal would always help us out, and Usha Sudhir ma'am would be telling us what to do. Then Annapurna ma'am would help us do our research and collect the material required for our meetings. I was also a part of the delegation that went to Bonn and Poland for 2 consecutive years for COP 23 and COP 24. It was a very new experience, as we were not used to this kind of an environment before. Meeting strangers from all other countries and then cooperating with them to create a white paper that would then be presented in front of UN officials was not a small deal. In fact, we had some challenges making the white paper itself, as we had so many views that every opinion clashed. But then in the end, we all condensed around 400 pages into 20 pages of pure content that would be showed in front of the UN officials. Of course, I had a lot of support from my team back at Hyderabad who were helping me from the school. And then we were also engaged in writing the blogs and conducting even more research. We even revived the compost pit, the kitchen garden, and we looked into the idea of rainwater harvesting. And thanks to our principal, it became a fruitful effort. Many people ask me what did I do once I came back from these conferences, especially after I left HPS in 10th class. So, back in ninth, as I said, we revived the compost pit and several other systems in the school. But then when I came back from Poland, what I looked into was deplastication. This is a term that I coined. Basically, it is removing plasticware from households and sending it to recyclable centers. Uh, if we accept it or not, plastic is a very huge role. It plays a very huge role in our daily life. We have Tupperware and other products, and my main goal was to make sure that almost all houses are at least 20% plastic free. So this was an effort that I did in my community and my friend circle. Right now, my house is around 30% plastic free, and we are working towards making it almost 90%. And we also had tree plantation and sapling plantations in my new college where I'm studying right now, my junior college. So that's that. And of course, when we were in Germany and Poland, we used to stay overnight working on each other, and then we'd be making our slides and presentations. We presented in universities and schools. I still remember we had a professor in Poland when we were presenting in Silesia Information Technology University. He said that if we did not take care of the earth, it would look like a post-apocalyptic Mad Max kind of a planet, where it was just deserts and all the water resources would have either dried up or intoxicated by the toxins that we have from our industrial and other domestic wastes. So overall, it was a good experience for me, and my main aim was to spread the awareness as much as I could, so that we could help our future be a better one, and not have our future generations blame us for what we weren't able to do for the planet. Thank you.
Thank you, Tarunim. That was great. Actually, sharing your experiences and and what the initiatives that you have taken as part of the learnings that you have got from there. Now, I would request Pavan to share his experiences of being a team member and participating in this process.
Ma'am, actually, I'd like to say that it was really wonderful. It was really wonderful, ma'am. Actually, Usha ma'am encouraged me to join this. So first, I thought it would be some club activity, where I not actually attended. But in the first session, I was totally surprised. I was literally awestruck by the work that we are doing, and I felt really motivated. So as ma'am said, we never sacrifice our game spirit, but I literally felt that game spirit was literally not worth it what it COP25 actually was. So it's like COP25 is like the next level that's actually happening here. So first session was really good. After the second session, I started to feel like this is what my world should be like. So this is where we can voice our opinions. So then I actually worked with a project called Malampet with ma'am. So she asked me and other two colleagues of mine to make a PPT for a bilateral meeting. So in there, I had indulged with Annapurna ma'am and also with Usha Sudhi ma'am. They are really sweet people. They are really helpful, and they are. I just can't express it in words. It's like totally inexpressible. So I loved the entire COP25, and I was very looking forward to joining COP26 also. So, and we also, my colleague Aditya, who went to Spain, who went to Spain was really surprised. You know, he enjoyed a lot. He used to keep telling me what he had done in COP25. So I really wish that he'd be here right now to, put out his experiences and his feelings. But um, you can really feel what when he explains it, how he spent his time during the white paper, or how he spent his time during the discussions and everything. I just like to say that it was really wonderful, and I like to keep staying in COP25 as long as I can. I mean, in COP. Sorry.
Thank you, Pawan. I can feel your. It's actually infectious. We can actually experience what you are feeling. It's really infectious. I would now like to invite Ankit to say a few words about his experiences, and I think Miss Deepa Kapoor needs to mute her mic. Yeah.
Okay, so
Ankit.
I'm Ankit from 10th
Yes.
grade. I joined
Yeah.
COP when I was in the 8th grade and I have been part of it ever since. For me, taking part in this organization has been an eye opener to the challenges the world is facing. We write various blogs, essays, and also submit artwork relating to the cause. Not only has the program taught us about climate change and the challenges it throws us, but also an appreciation to the underlying issues and potential solutions to the same. In previous years, our school has been with bilateral pairings with Indonesia and Argentina this year, which has really helped us understand happenings in other parts of the world. We have regular meetings and assignments given and take part in local initiatives like speaking with officials on climatic issues, waste management activities, and awareness rallies. As an NCC Navy cadet, I also was able to take part in a cleanliness drive in our school campus, as well as a tree plantation session. This year, due to the coronavirus and resultant restrictions and lockdowns, many of the proposed activities had to be curtailed or abandoned. However, the specter of climate change and its devastating effects will not leave us alone. Just last month, our city of Hyderabad witnessed horrendous floods resulting in large scale loss of lives and property. Waking up and reading the headlines on the local news was quite depressing. This is a sobering reminder to all of us that climate change is not a distant threat, but something much closer to us than we would have wished to admit or imagine. To combat this, the COP taught us and helped us to make our voices heard, for we are the leaders of the future. Discussing our various issues and concerns helps us formulate a collective decision that we all can follow. This is done every year when the white paper is presented in the United Nations, which we can give back to the environment, is by reducing our carbon emissions and educating people effectively more about climate change and how we can still save the planet. Wonderful teammates and how we experienced different meetings and had such a wonderful time. And the fact that we're doing this for a cause makes it even better. #decarbonize, #decolonize. Thank you.
Thank you, Ankit. I can now see Miss Debatri Ray, the mother of Tarunim Jamal, who has joined us. I would like her also to say a few words. As a parent, what is your reaction?
Yeah, hello everyone. Good evening, ma'am. Good evening, every one of you. Yeah, it's been like as a parent also, we lived through the COP dream, I can say. Because seeing the students going, and as ma'am said during Diwali and Dussehra, and the students' tantrums that used to happen, despite that, they were all coming together for one cause, that we have to represent our school in the global platform, which really mattered a lot. And of course, first time when he was traveling, we were a bit skeptical, because that was the first time, he was going from us to a completely foreign land. But I must thank Annapurna ma'am. She took what a wonderful care of her child. He was a child that time, of course, and he grew with COP, I would say. In the coming year, of course, he was very comfortable, but Usha ma'am was continuously supporting along with Sir, Principal Sir. who was every time there taking care of each and every detail. He took the initiative to again encourage them to do for the pit and the other stuff that they could, rainwater harvesting also, I think they had started. And after coming back, he was really telling everyone that we must encourage all these things, decolonize, decarbonize. Everywhere we were hearing that only at home. He was talking to his friends, same thing, relatives, same thing. And he was explaining everyone what it means. In fact, when we went to the mayor and we also gave him a presentation, he was very happy that, okay, someone is taking an initiative. And he also helped. He said, whatever you need from our side, we will do. So consecutive years definitely gave him a lot of exposure. And what we expected that he would do, he had initiated that. Even now, it's on. And not only it is restrained with his friends, even in our circles, he keeps saying that. So somehow or the other, seeing the recent pandemic and the floods, everyone has realized, yes, we must take it up. And I'm sure without HPS, it wouldn't have happened. It was an excellent opportunity, which I think he could utilize. And even his college right now is also following. Harita Haram also they did. And some of the other projects, which he said we must do. So they also were cooperating till this pandemic happened. So hopefully this will continue and he will personally take the interest as he did earlier, ma'am. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Debatri. That was very nicely put. The reactions that you saw as a parent in your child. Okay, now apart from Hyderabad Public School, there were many other schools which participated in this project. I would now like to invite Ms. Suhani Giroti of Sri Ram School, Molsari at Gurgaon, who participated in the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change for Cities, where apart from 12 other cities in the world, from India, Delhi was taken as the case study for the conference which was held at Edmonton, Canada. Now over to you, Suhani.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So namaste, everyone. My name is Suhani Giroti, and I'm a 17-year-old from the Sri Ram School, Malsari in Delhi. First of all, I'm so honored to be amongst this distinguished panel, and it was so inspiring to hear about everything that the Hyderabad Public School does for the environment. So to divert away from the cup for a bit, today I'm here to tell you about my environmental initiative, which is called Project Nishtha. Through this project, I convert tons of toxic floral waste from temples in Delhi into organic compost, which is then used to grow gardens. The project has an extremely simple model. So thrice a week, a rickshawala collects over 100 kgs of flowers from temples across Delhi and transports them to a composting machine. I would have loved to speak to you about youth advocacy and the mechanism of my project, but due to the brevity of time, I'll instead be focusing on what I've learned from the project, which is the intersection between religion and ecology. So while setting up Project Nishtha, I had to meet with several priests, and while some of them were receptive to the idea of flowers being sent to composting, but some of the others actually disagreed to this notion. They said that flowers being disposed of in the Yamuna was actually their destiny, and that composting was a disrespectful practice. So after learning the stern view of the priest's view of environmentalism, I was exposed to the way in which a temple, which actually advocates for non-violence and environmentalism, was instead encouraging a concept that is insidious for our environment. Setting up Project Nishtha was not a straightforward task for me because I had to deal with the whole notion of religion while setting it up. But it exposed me to a simply beautiful concept, which is how religions across the world can be motivators for environmental action. 84% of the world's population identifies with the religious group. Over the years, Harvard, Yale, and other prestigious institutions have been engaging in dialogue regarding religion and ecology, through which they aim to reshape religious practices in light of environmental crises. For instance, you may have heard of Pope Francis's encyclical letter, through which he elucidated how Christian practices are actually in line with environmentalism and how Christians have a responsibility to the earth. This was distributed to millions of Christians and sparked conversations conversations on environmental justice. Because when a religious institution takes charge and advocates for the right things, people are likely to follow. Today, I wanted to give you a glimpse into how religion can be a motivator for change. And I really encourage you to to actually spark environmental discussions in religious groups that you're a part of, or perhaps even get in like touch with projects like Project Nishtha, which hope to alter the paradigm through small but realistic steps. I genuinely feel that it's time for all institutions, from businesses to temples and churches, to get involved in environmental action, because we all need to share the burden. Thank you.
Thank you, Suhani. I asked her to speak about this project because this was one of the I would call the impact that the children have had on being exposed to this kind of projects and interacting with children across the world. Now, this project has many facets. Apart from actually interacting with the students abroad and participating in preparing the white paper and presenting it to the UNFCCC, that is the United Nations Framework Convention for Climate Change, there was a lot of scope for students to express themselves in various forms, including art, craft, and projects. As a country coordinator, I was also able to bring together students from at least 30 other schools, like the Sun City School, Gurgaon, Nalanda Group of Schools, Hyderabad, Jai Hind Public School, and Sri Vivekananda Group of Schools in Maharashtra, among many other schools across the country, where over the last 3 years, and the informal sector also in Maharashtra and Gujarat, who used indigenous art forms like Warli art to express their concerns, views, opinions, ideas, and innovations about climate change in the form of drawing, painting, collage, projects, and music, etc., and participate in the Youth Art for Climate Change section of this project. Now, the active interdisciplinary engagement on the theme of global warming and climate change was a big learning for the students. And out of the many artworks received from the world over, I'm very proud to announce that 6 of the 8 artworks selected by the jury at the UN were by Indian students for the exhibition. And it was a very proud moment to have these exhibitions, these paintings from India being featured at a global venue. Actually, I would just like to share my screen to show you, to show these to you, to show these paintings to you. Okay, these are all from the, these are all some of the paintings which were displayed at the COI and the COP. And then again, some more selected works, some more paintings. And the one on the right side was done by an Indian student, which was selected to be painted on the buses during the COP. And this was, the left side one was done by a student in Kenya. Now how to stop share? Yeah. Now, now I would like to invite Ritupan Kulkarni, a student from Jai Hind Public School in from Udgir in Latur district of Maharashtra, who has actually come up with a lot of projects, and he has taken up initiative to come up with projects, where one of them being a device to translocate trees rather than cutting them down in the name of development, for which he actually received a certificate from the UN. I now request Ritupan to share his experiences.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Annapurna ma'am, for my introduction. So I basically came up with an idea of translocating trees. That idea, it came to my mind when I went to my father's construction site. My father is an engineer, a road engineer. When I went to construction site, I saw that many trees were being cut down, and the average age of the tree was nearby 30 to 40 years. So when I asked my father about it, they said that the number of trees that are getting cut down here, double the trees are being planted in another area by the government, and it's an initiative by the government side. But in reality, when I got deeper into the thing, I saw that none of the trees were being planted. There were very few plants that were being planted, and other cons of that project were we are cutting a tree which is grown for 30 to 40 years before it, and just we are planting a tree, so it need again 30 years to grow. It will consume all the water again, all the minerals, all the nutrients again, and all the setup that we require, that's also expensive. So on the day when I saw all the things, I basically came up with an idea of translocating trees. Of course, when I went to home, I saw that many ideas are being developed in that field, and also that many people have done it before, but in India there's no technology currently there's one in Gujarat. Gujarat sites, they have the translocating trees at a higher cost as compared to none other states in India. They are not doing the thing. So it's a very good initiative. We do that. If humans can get a rover on Mars, for sure we can develop a technology at a higher scale which can just relocate the tree. So for that we just need to get attention on those things. So basically I built up a project by which a small scale model which can translocate tree, which showed the basic principles of translocating a tree from a spot to other spot. So I shown it in my school exhibition and many more places. So the main aim for that was to just spread awareness among people that it's not that hard, and it's a technology which is existing, but government and other people which are not are those people who are not focusing on it, as it costs somewhat more to just translocate a tree rather than cutting it down. And by cutting it down, government gets some revenue as if they sell the wood and the timber wood and all the things. Whereas if we just translocate the tree, it costs them to pay for that machinery. So it was basically that we just there is no need to cut a tree which has been growing from 40 years, and we cut a tree and we plant a tree which will start growing now, and it will take 40 years eventually to be that big. Also the water structure, the irrigation, all the things are needed for that. So after the project was ready, Annapurna ma'am helped me a lot to get it on an international level. They got a video of mine and just sent it to the UNESCO site, and over there I got a very great attention. Also after that I went to many science exhibitions and shown my projects over there. Everyone was very impressed with that, and I got in data which said that every major government project such as dams or road engineering projects, every project there are minimum of 1 lakh trees cut down for any national highway constructed over India. The Golden Quadrilateral National Highway was a national highway where total of 1,20,000 trees were cut down. Such an extensive amount. If we just would have replanted them over the edges of the road, so we can get a shade over there, but they were cut down. So at that time, I believe that we can do it. Just we need some technology and government awareness. Government should be aware about that.
Thank you, Rutipan. That was really an awesome effort and effort put in by you, and really wonderful. And he has not stopped with that. He is when during the summer vacation, when all the children are spending time playing, he spends time learning. And the recent one that he has told me was about home automation, which he has created and which he's using at home now. For this one. So basically what this indicates is that for a student who is motivated and empowered, geographical barriers, rural and urban boundaries do not exist at all. All they can see is the goals ahead of them. So as a country coordinator for a project like this, the greatest achievement which I think I have achieved is the impact these children have had. After getting exposed to and being empowered, they have actually come back and taken up initiatives on their own for bringing about a change in the society at large. I congratulate all the children and thank the schools and the parents for their wholehearted participation in this project. This is not a one-off project. It's an ongoing effort, which we have to take it forward, and one and all. And it's not just an individual, it has to be taken by one and all. And more people have to join to be the change that we want to see in this world. I thank Nexus of Good, Preksha ji, Pramila ji, Praveen Rajgaru, and last but not the least, Mr. Anil Swaroop, for giving us this opportunity to present our project on your forum. Thank you, sir, once again. Thank you so much.
Normally, I refrain from speaking on such moments. I want to speak, actually. I'm really amazed at what I heard just now. Starting with complimenting Madam Annapurna, I think I've always been an admirer of what you've been doing, but today I'm a greater admirer.
Oh my goodness. Thank you, sir.
My compliments to Usha ji and the principal of the school for guiding the children in the manner they are doing. It gives me a lot of hope, confidence about the future. People like you, the country needs such people. So keep up this wonderful work that you're doing, Usha ji. I think it's under your able guidance that we see children flourishing the manner in which they are. That girl from Delhi,
Yes.
Oh, wow. I wish you could do something about the pollution here as well. Most of us have failed, but you give us hope. You've picked up those flowers and turned them into organic manure. Nothing like it. More than the effort that you're putting in, the signals that you're giving to old people like me is that it can be done. And that's what that gives us hope. I think hope lies with the youngsters like you. So my compliments to all of you. I could not comment on everyone's presentation because I'm not very good at typing. It takes me a lot of time to look at each letter and type. I'm not as good as some of you who can type without looking at the letters. So I will take this opportunity to compliment all of you. And finally, my heartful thanks to Praveen Raju, who has taken this wonderful initiative of getting together these wonderful, wonderful people to present their case, to inspire others to do the same. Thank you very much for inviting me.
Thank you very much, sir, for the kind words. I think you all have done a fabulous job. I think Ali Swarupji has summed it up. Fantastic work. Thank you, Mr. Bali. Thank you, Ms. Annapurna Garu. It is all your work that has happened. I just facilitated a little bit that I could do. And I think this should be replicated in more schools, not 30. We should target 300, 3,000. It's possible. And how do we replicate it is we will discuss offline, and then I'm sure we can take it across many schools. I can connect you with that. I'd like to add to what sir has already have been typed here. Ritupan, don't stop playing. You should play. You should play and do all the wonderful things that you're doing. I really appreciate the parents that who have done a fabulous job in supporting it, and the platform provided by Dr. Bali, my alma mater as well. Such a fantastic school, and I've been hearing such fantastic things about the school, sir. Please keep it up. We want to see it up there as one of the best schools, which is produce some of the greats like Satya Nadella or Shantanu Narayan or such great people. So thank you very much, one and all. We will come back for the next edition. Annapurna Garu and I are working on another webinar. We'll keep you posted. Thank you very much, everybody.
Okay,
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Can we leave, ma'am?
Yeah.
We can leave, ma'am.
Yeah.
Take care, ma'am. Nice. It was all good.
Thank you to all of you. Very well done.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Nice meeting all of you
Thank you,
again.
ma'am. Bye, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Good luck to the future team.
Okay. Ankit was good.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for all your effort and what you do for all of us. Thank you so much.
It's we have to save the earth.
Yes, ma'am.
I know. Chalo. Well, we can quit then. Okay. Have a good day, all of you. Take care. Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye, ma'am. Bye, ma'am.
Bye-bye.
Bye.